Whether your beer is in a bottle, can, or glass, kick back and relax. It's better on draft.
Hello and welcome to Better on Draft, episode 387. My name is Rob, and with me today is Wendy. Hi, Wendy. What are you drinking?
Today, I was lucky enough to get a growler from one of our local breweries, One for All. They don't do a whole lot of growlers because they do small batch beers, but I have their Studley Monk. It's their Belgian triple, and it's delicious.
Oh, that's such a Wendy beer.
It very much is.
And you're drinking out of a mason jar again. Love it. Today I have Dragon Slayer nuggets from 450 North that I picked up, and it is I like their nugget series. It's their hazy IPAs. They're not super hazy as far as they go, but still quite delicious. But with us today we have Kristen Radaich, who has recently written a book. But hi, before we get into that, Kristen, what are you drinking?
Hi, I am drinking BHK Nut Brown Ale from Krakow Brewing, my local brewery.
Excellent. So yes, as I said, you have recently written a book. That book, the title is rather long, but I have it written down, is Beer Hiking Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula. Great hikes and breweries from the Twin Cities to the Northwoods, which scratches so many itches for me, because I do like the outdoors and hiking and stuff, and I obviously like beer. But how about you? How did you come to write this book?
But yeah, I think it's the perfect mix of hobbies and enjoyments. I cannot claim to have come up with this project. It was started by the publishers Helvetique. They're based out of Switzerland, and they started this series over in Europe, and then eventually brought it over to the US. So you can find similar books like Beer Hiking Southern California, for example, around. And they connected with me through a blog I used to write for, and they were like, hey, we're doing this project. And I was like, I love beer and I love hiking, like sign me up. Who wouldn't want to? So yeah, it was just the perfect blend.
I see that you have a paw on you right now. It was your friend.
Sorry, yes. This is Lou down here, or this is Lou's paw. She is, she thinks she's lap size. She's about a 50-pound little pit bull. She joined me on a lot of the hiking and brewery visits that I did.
Okay, excellent. So she likes the hiking and she likes the breweries, does she?
She loves hiking and she loves people. So being on like a brewery patio is just like perfect for her.
Excellent. So I did check out your Instagram, and first of all, the page is beautiful. It is full of nature pictures and dog pictures.
Yeah.
So did that come about? Like, were you doing that before you were asked to write the book? Is that kind of how they found you, or, you know?
Yeah, sort of. I'm sure like a lot of people on Instagram, I started just sharing my pictures because I liked sharing what I did. And a lot of it tended to focus on my dogs and the adventures that I would do, a lot of hiking and road trips and whatnot. And that's how Go Pet Friendly found me, the blog that I used to write for about dog travel. So we connected on there. And I just kept sharing stuff. And I just, like connecting with other like-minded individuals who love their dogs and love being outside and all of that kind of stuff. So just sharing a little piece of my life.
Yeah, excellent. I'll ask another one, then Wendy can have you. But so you've written the book or a book now. Is there a hike near you that like you would tell people to start out with if they were in you said earlier you were in the Grand Rapids, Minnesota area, not the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. But is there like a hike near you? What kind of terrain are we talking about in Grand Rapids, Minnesota?
Yeah, so we're talking probably pretty similar to the Michigan area. Very north woodsy, lots of pines, some rolling hills, some lakes, rivers, all of that good stuff. Here in my hometown, I would recommend, there's actually the hike I have in the book is paired with Klockow and the beer that I'm drinking. It takes you out to a dam on the Mississippi River, and then you hike through a beautiful forest in this park, and you come to additional overlooks of the river, and it's just stunning and beautiful. I think it's a perfect display of the Northwoods up here. You get the wildflowers or the fall foliage, just a lot packed into a beautiful little hike.
Excellent. And you said that Klockow Brewing is the one near you. Are there other breweries in that area?
Yeah, yep. In town, we also have Rapids Brewing. And then over in neighboring towns, like over in Hibbing, we have a brewery over there. Gosh, of course, I'm going to space on and they're like sprinkled all over the Northwoods up here. And Duluth is only about an hour away, where there's just a large collection of breweries up there right off Lake Superior. You have Ursa Minor Brewing is in the book, Bent Paddle, and you can go up the North Shore of Lake Superior, and you have some going up that way. And it's just really, you guys have probably come across this over on the Michigan side of the woods also, in your neck of the woods. Like the small towns really, they have a nice collection of breweries. And I think they do really well because it's just the perfect like gathering space for the community. And so I think that just helps them survive, even if they're in a small town up here in the woods. And they're great.
So let's dig in. What are some of the favorite hikes that you've done?
Oof. Let's see. Favorite hikes. I would have to say over in the Upper Peninsula, I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was by the Chapel Loop over in the Pictured Rocks National Park. I hiked that one on actually a very foggy day, so I didn't get as many of the overlooks over the lake as you normally would, but it was still stunning. Walking along the river, seeing the waterfalls, you could still see kind of over the cliffs to the lake and see the red rocks and like the aquamarine water down below. Just quiet and beautiful in the fog. It was really surprising to me. Let's see. I should have made a list of these. There's one in northern Wisconsin. It is the Annville National Recreation Trail. I paired that with Tribute Brewing that's nearby. And it's like cross-country ski trails in the winter. So in the warmer months, it's just these nice, wide, smooth paths going through this forest with these massive trees, and you have ferns down low, moss on the trees, and it is just quiet beauty as you're just surrounded by just like immense forms of nature. Just a really relaxing trail.
Now, when you go on your hikes, do you bring beer with you, or do you just look for breweries around you when you're done?
I look for breweries once I get off the trail. I am usually working hard. I am not someone who runs 10 miles or hikes 10 miles every day. So I'm hustling and I'm sweating when I'm hiking. So I definitely save the beers for afterwards. I like when I go to a new hike, then you get to, obviously if you haven't been there, you get to find a new brewery. And that's like the perfect treat after the hike. You stop in. I like grabbing like a flight of beers, obviously if I haven't been there. And it's the perfect treat afterwards.
Okay, team flight, check.
I like all the samples.
I'm the
The
same way,
follow-up to
especially
that
if
is-
it's a brewery.
The follow-up to that is usually, what does your plate look like?
Yeah.
Ooh. My flight ranges a lot. I love nut browns, which is why I picked this one today. Ambers, I really enjoy. If I've been hiking, I like lighter fruity a lot of the time. So if there's like a raspberry anything, that's going on the list. I think I like getting a sample because you just get a taste of everything, that they've made. And it's just a nice collection of making your way through the rankings.
Right.
So how many breweries did you go to during the process of writing this book?
So there are 42 included in here, and I did a few extras as backups. So just a few over 40, and it was quite an adventure.
I have to remember that I did some extras as backup.
Yeah. Just to make sure.
Just in case. There have been a lot of breweries closing over in, I shouldn't say a lot, but there have been a few closing lately, which is always heartbreaking to see. And sometimes also I just changed my mind, got there, maybe I found a different one that I liked a little better. So it's nice to have options.
That's right.
So you were already hiking before you started doing this book. Do you try to go to different states to hike, or is it just something you do around home?
Yeah, I used to travel quite a bit more. I'm sitting in my camper van currently because it's probably the quiet, least echoey place in my house. But I used to drive around the Western U.S. quite a bit. I used to live in Arizona, and it's very hot in the summer, so I'd take my dogs during the summer and usually head north somewhere cooler. Sometimes I'd come up here. Sometimes I'd make my way over to Montana, went up to Canada, kind of fell in love with the Badlands over in the Plains states. Did a lot of that. The last 2 years I've been busy with book stuff. So very Minnesota, Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula based. And having just moved back here right before I started the book, this was so perfect. Could not have planned it better to come back to my home area and rediscover everything I love about the Northwoods. So now it's, going down to Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities, and cruising all over Wisconsin and doing a loop around the UP, obviously over many weeks, but yeah. So now I love it. It's nice to be back home and still realize how much I can be a tourist in my own backyard, kind of an idea. A lot of times we think of travel as you have to go far away, and really you don't. There's a lot of really good stuff right around us all.
We say that about Michigan all the time. That a lot of Michiganders don't leave the state because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
All the time.
Absolutely.
I do not say that about Indiana, but there honestly are some great spots in the state.
I'll admit I haven't been to Indiana, so I can't speak to anything, but I would love to check it out someday.
There's some good hiking spots in Indiana, Rob?
They're south of me. I wish I could think of their name now, but Nashville, Indiana is the area that they're centered around. So there's some good stuff there. And then as you go even farther south towards the river, towards the Ohio River, there's a lot of hiking. The river bluffs there are similar to the ones along the Mississippi.
Nice.
Obviously, Michigan has some great stuff. I have not done a whole lot of hiking in Michigan except for the parks around me when I was preparing to go to other states to hike. So believe it or not, it's the only type of exercise that I actually like.
It's I I used to run. I felt like I was going crazy when I used to run. But hiking, it's slower pace. You get to look around and enjoy stuff. And yeah, I find it so enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do still run occasionally, well, weekly at least. And there is a very nice park nearby that the part of Indiana I'm in is extremely flat. But this park does have some hills, so that's nice. There's some terrain there. There's tons of birds and critters to look at while I'm out there for a run as well.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Your camper van, by the way, looks extremely cozy. That it must be quite nice to crawl into that at the end of the day, end of a long day. It looks quite cozy.
It is. I used to do, when I started my road trips, it was in like a small SUV, and I would pull out my tent and my sleeping bag wherever I was staying. And I don't know if it's as I got older or what, I was like, I can't do this sleeping on the ground thing every night. So it is, I had this van professionally converted because it would look like shambles if I did it. But it is nice to have like an actual bed and running water every night when I come home. Yeah. When you're out and about. Yeah.
I had heard about. I wish I could remember its name. Sort of a pass thing that you can do with breweries and wineries and such, where it's this pass that works at a bunch of places around the country, and they just have agreements that you can park in their parking lot overnight. Mm-hmm. You don't use their facilities and things, but so you can then get beer there and just stay in their parking lot and then be off in the morning.
Yeah, I've heard of that also. I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, that's it.
My parents use that a lot.
Very cool. It sounds really great. I talked with one of the breweries I talked with. They were hosts. And so people would just park out back behind their brewery. They would come in, hang out, usually have a flight or grab a couple of beers to continue on whenever they continued on. And I was like, man, that is way better than a regular hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. For me, that's the reason to get a camper van or something like it.
Yes. Camp, do a brewery tour or a winery tour on your way across country. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. My parents have stayed at some pretty cool places. Wineries, breweries, an alpaca farm.
What?
Yeah, that was my favorite. They sent me pictures because they live in their RV full time.
Oh, nice.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to buy them your book.
Excellent. Yes. Let me know what they think of it. Yeah, they could travel around and assess my assessments of the beers and everything.
Well, they'll be more interested in the hikes than the beers, but
okay.
Though my dad is the first person I ever shared a flight with, so.
Oh, that's cool. What a good memory.
What does a hiking day look like for you? Like, what kind of equipment are you bringing? How long are you going out there? Is this it varies thing?
Yeah, it really does. I think about if I'm going to go, say, up to the North Shore of Lake Superior, like up by Duluth and stuff, that's about hour and a half-ish drive for me, which isn't bad. And so I love morning hikes. My dog does not, but she comes along, thankfully. So I'm up early, usually before sunrise, driving out so that I can start hiking at sunrise. In an ideal world, and usually have my backpack set and ready to go with it's usually has my water bladder in there, my emergency gear, like from a first aid kit to like an emergency carry harness if I have to carry my dog out, and of course plenty of dog snacks tucked in there. And then gear for my dog, leash, harness, potty bags, all that kind of stuff. And we go out, we explore. I'm more of a 5 to 6 miler. So then we're, done with, not out there all day, and then we can come back, grab lunch, grab a beer somewhere, and then make our way home. So yeah, nice little day trip is kind of my idea.
It's nice that if you're a 5 to 6 miler, it's nice if your dog is as well, because mine is not.
Yeah. In the which end of the spectrum is your dog?
Maybe he would I think he's gotten through a mile once or twice.
Okay. Yeah. Still respectable.
Yeah, he's more of a sniffer than a walker.
Oh, sure.
And so to that point, what kind of a hike is your dog doing? Is it running ahead, running behind, sniffing everything?
If we're here at home, I let her off leash on like the local off-road trails and stuff, and she is doubling or tripling my mileage. She is over here sniffing, over there sniffing. If she finds a wildlife trail, she can sniff. She will go. She always circles back, thankfully, so far. But she loves exploring, sniffing, all of that kind of stuff. When we're on trail, she's always leashed on trail with me, but she's always up ahead of me, leading the way, sniffing as much as she can along the way. If it's rockier or like we have to climb up steps and stuff, she loves that. She is way more athletic than me. And then, especially if she's off leash, if she can find a body of water, a swamp, a stream, a hint of moisture, she is in it. She is muddy, dirty and disgusting, and she loves it. So she makes the most of whatever experience she can find, for sure.
That's excellent. Yeah,
so are you traveling by yourself, or are you traveling with other people?
Most of the time I'm on my own. I'm a pretty solo traveler, hiker kind of person. I drag my mom along with me traveling when I can, and she puts up with us, or occasionally meeting friends on the road when I can. But yeah, a lot of time it's just me and Lou.
So what are some of the safety recommendations you can make to other women that want to do this as well?
Sure. Well, first, don't be afraid of going by yourself. I usually feel safer on the trail than I do in town. And most people you meet on trail are friendly and helpful and just as happy as you to be out in the wilderness. I try and be aware of my surroundings. When I park, make sure I'm parking like in a designated parking safe space, and just kind of keep an eye on, looking outside before I step out, any just general safety. Because even the same, if you're looking for if there's a bear or a moose outside, same kind of safety that you want to practice for that. And on trail, if I'm chatting with people, I'm a little cautious about the information that I share, or, explaining about, I usually explained about, I'm meeting, up with my friends afterwards at the brewery, and just making sure they know whoever I meet, is people are expecting me. People are, knowing I'm going to return kind of a thing.
They would come looking for you.
Right. Yeah. In all of my years of hiking and traveling, I've maybe only had a handful of experience where I was like, ooh, this doesn't feel right kind of a thing. And I'm really quick. I tell everyone, like, trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right to you, turn around, skedaddle out of there, do what you got to do. Don't be afraid to be weird and rude if you don't want to, if someone's making you uncomfortable. I always travel with bear spray for the bears, even though I've only encountered one bear on trail in all the years. It's just an extra bit of safety you can have with you as a backup. And then just go out there and enjoy it, and do what you can, and tell people where you're going. Like, pretend you're meeting people, but also tell people where you're going.
So that actually brought me to another question I was going to ask. Have you ever ran into a bear? But I really want to know if you've run into a moose, because that's like one of my bucket list items, is to see a live moose.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I want to encounter a moose so bad, but also I want it to be maybe across the lake, because I don't want to face to face. I've only seen a moose from my car. It was crossing the road in front of me when I was on my way to the trailhead. I also would love to see one, though, just out existing in nature, not trying to escape the road. I've only come across one bear really while I was out on a trail. It was while I was hiking for this book, actually. I came around a corner, minding my own business, and there's a bear cub like 20, 30 feet in front of me. And of course I panicked, because that's like the worst thing you can encounter on the trail. And smart old me just ducked behind a tree and was like, don't notice me, hopefully. And pulled Lou in close, grabbed my bear spray, listened to, where was the mom? Did I hear her coming? Was she about to like devour me? Didn't hear anything. Popped back out. Didn't see the bear cub. Skedaddled as fast as I safely could. So grateful to not encounter wildlife that makes me nervous, even though it's also really cool to see the little fella on trail.
My first trip to Banff with the woman who I eventually married, we went to, Banff, the town site, and we're walking up to the Banff Springs Hotel. There's a soccer field outside the hotel, and on that soccer field was a herd of moose.
Really?
What?
Yeah, it was like
so
10 or 12.
Oh my gosh.
And this was before you had cameras in your pocket, so I do not have any pictures of this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. I have also seen bighorn sheep up there and some other large, weird critters.
Oh, cool. So cool. I hiked up there years ago, and I saw maybe a bear or two from my car while I was traveling. Again, didn't see any wildlife while I was hiking. Thankfully, unthankfully, undecided. I had a dog scare me really bad that ran up behind me, but that was all.
Yeah, that's wild.
Banff is cool. Banff is just amazing.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite hikes is Johnston Canyon in Banff Park.
Yeah, nice.
It's a very commercialized, sanitized hike. I think it's paved in parts, and it's got a lot of these beautiful catwalks because it has to, because it's this ravine with the river running through it and waterfalls and things. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful hike.
Yeah. I don't think you can go wrong up there, really.
No. There's less breweries up there than we have around here.
Yeah. I think I've only been to one up there. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, well, that was probably a good over 6 years ago that I was there, though. But yeah.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Wendy.
Oh, so what? Do you remember which breweries you went to in Michigan? Which ones did you feature?
Yeah, in the UP. Absolutely. I went to, I'm going to say that and I'm going to forget everyone's name. Can I cheat and page through my book?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's why you write it down.
It's not cheating. That's why you wrote it down.
No, I don't know why I had a list, because I know that I forget on the spot. So starting in the southwest corner, Cold Iron Brewing, visited them and featured their like jalapeno ale. Delicious, delightful, great group of people. They had a really good selection of beer. I brought home a couple packs with me from there. Also, I went to Going north, I went up to Brickside Brewing. They unfortunately closed the last fall, I think it was, or last summer, which is really unfortunate. I had a great brew there, and they were so like cute
Friendly.
little space. Yes, so friendly. Everyone who was in there just was, a lot of them, most of them seemed like locals, but just friendly people, good space. Super bummer to hear about them. If anyone goes up there, is looking at the book and goes hiking up there, though, there are other breweries up in that region that are pretty easy to find. I didn't happen to visit them, though. Continuing over to the Marquette area, then I stopped at Barrel and Beam. Super cool. They had a lot of beers I had never tried before, and I probably sampled so many. They were like, what's this lady doing? But so great. Again, phenomenal people. I would probably say that about just about every brewery owner that I chatted with. Just really great, friendly, really cool space. I think if I remember correctly, the building is like this old like supper club. And so it's huge. There's these huge wooden beams, just open, beautiful space over there, and fantastic selection of beer, especially if you want to try something besides the usual IPA or what have you. Also in the Marquette area, I went to Black Rocks, and very cool. A lot of folks recommended them to me. I saw you nodding your head. I'm assuming you've heard of, tried them.
Yes.
And featured their Super Deluxe. Again, really great people. We had some fun chats about like the trails that they support, like the breweries to some of the local trail associations and stuff. So it was cool to even see the connection between hiking, biking, and breweries in action through that kind of stuff.
I was looking it up. They were the Michigan Beer Series number 48 that we had on fairly recently.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it took us a while to get them on.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, they were phenomenal, super friendly, really good guys. You've probably go ahead.
They tell a story of jumping off the Black Rocks into the water.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
They suggested that to me, and I was like, nope. I tried to avoid going in that lake.
Maybe Lou would enjoy it.
She probably would. East Channel Brewing. Have you chatted with those guys over in Munising?
I have been there, and I tried to get them on the show, and we couldn't make it work at the time. So it's another one I need to call again.
Yeah, super great. Chatted with them for a while. They have 2 locations in town there. Their original spot, and then they opened another one just down the street. It has this great like open beer garden patio area. Super fun chatting with them, and delicious beer. I featured an IPA from them. Also, they had raspberry ale, if I'm remembering correctly, on tap when I was there. That was like perfect. Like I had just come back from hiking that chapel loop that I had mentioned, and it was like perfect on a summer day. Couldn't have asked for a better trip there. Tequamanon Falls, the brewery that's over in the state park there, which it's been there for a very long time. Great beer, great experience. You're going into this, I think it's like the only brewery in a state park, if I'm remembering correctly.
It's believable.
Yeah. And you're just like, it's kind of crazy to think you're like sitting in there, like drinking beer, and just like a few hundred feet away is like this massive waterfall through the forest, which is just cool. Probably one of the coolest waterfalls I saw on the trip also. So that's definitely, I feel like, a must do for folks.
Probably also the quickest brewery to get to from a hike.
Yes.
Since this shares a parking lot with the trail.
Exactly. I did mention that. I should have said that, but I mean, maybe, yeah. Parking and ending right there. You couldn't ask for anything better.
That's perfect.
I think the second to last, Les Cheneaux Distillers, over on the southeastern. I have to think of my directions when I'm saying this. The southeastern end of things. Super great folks. Really fun chatting with them. And I went to their original location, but they have one, if I remember correctly, that's right off the water also, which when I go back, I definitely want to go there because drinking beer, if you can, see the water, like,
yeah.
Awesome. Let's see, who else do we have? Flatiron Brewing, over in Manistee.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been up there. Great, right off the boardwalk over along the beach there. Alpha Michigan Brewing. Probably two of my favorite people to talk with in the whole experience. Excellent. Yeah. Have you chatted with those guys?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Just really, you can tell they really care for their town, their community. Great beer, great backstory. Just, yeah, really cool individuals over there.
What you have just proven to me is that it's been too long since I've done a beer trip to the UP. Because some of those breweries weren't around the last time I was up there.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I need to go there. Oh, I need to go there.
There is such a nice selection, like all throughout the UP. We had talked about including the rest of Michigan, and it just like wasn't feasible for the space that I was trying to cover. And I was like, man, if the rest of Michigan is at all like the UP, as far as just the people, even how friendly and great and welcoming everyone was, I can't wait to continue exploring over there.
I feel like that's kind of common in the Midwest. Michigan is certainly very pleasant and wonderful people, but I find that a lot of places.
I would agree. Yeah. I think we have good people up here.
Yeah. Yeah, Minnesota's kind of famous for that.
But, no.
Well, if you live here, some people like to make the joke that Minnesota nice is also kind of a snarky nice sometimes. Yes. But I think at the heart of it, it is truly everyone's really nice.
Yeah. I had a couple questions come in from the community when I asked them in prep for the show. The first one, Trapio from Germany asked, "Are we there yet?"
Yes, it's just around the corner. We're almost there.
Right, that's right.
That's a good question. Are you one of the people who tells people that are coming the other way, it's just over the bend, or it's just a little while, you're almost there?
I try to be positive about it, but I also try to be realistic. I will say you are almost there, but it is still a swift climb, if there is indeed a swift climb ahead.
We were in Tennessee doing a hike, and it was not easy. I don't know who rated it as easy, but it was not easy. I was like, yeah, I have a picture that I post every year of like me just being like tomato red with that face, like, screw this. Right. I'm like, easy my ass. But on the way down, I actually said to somebody, I'm like, it's almost there, don't worry. Or you're almost there, don't worry. And my friend's like, don't lie to him. I'm like, it was almost there in my mind.
Right? Yeah.
Like, that was the point where I was like, oh, now we're almost there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. Definitely been on some of those hikes where, poorly rated by someone else who thought it was really easy. And yeah.
I've been on some of those where they're just obviously rated wrong, and then some where there's really two paths and I took the wrong one.
Oh gosh, I've done that too.
Yeah.
my 1 mile hike turned into 3 miles because I missed a signpost someplace on the hike.
That's right.
For sure. Been
Yeah.
there. Yeah. All of a sudden the path starts disappearing and I was like, shoot, that was not a hiking trail I just followed.
Right.
Yeah, I did a hike in Atlanta that took us to it was like an abandoned printing mill, like it was like made out of stone. It was a really cool hike.
Cool.
But one of the signs had been knocked down, so I missed it and I took the long way.
Oh, God.
And I have never been so happy to get back to my car in my life.
You took the scenic route.
Yes, but what was even funnier is that there was a girl there doing pictures for her quinceanera in like her full dress.
Wow.
I was like, how did you just hike through the woods in that?
Right.
Because I'm like dying. So it's amazing what some people can accomplish.
Right.
That's impressive. I couldn't imagine a dress swishing around my legs as I'm like, hustling through the forest.
Mr. Hockeytown, who he lives in Minneapolis, has roots in Michigan, but lives in Minneapolis. He says he loves the Fort Snelling hike in the Twin Cities, and he usually visits Wandering Leaf afterward.
Yeah. Yep.
He also likes the Nerstrand Big Wood State Park with Chapel Brewing in Dundas afterward.
Nice. I have not visited the second pair yet, but the first pair I know can confirm both excellent options. So I'm going to trust his second recommendation and add that to my list.
That's right. Sounds like a good one then.
So are you looking at doing another book?
Not another beer hiking. With the same publisher, I am working on strictly a dog hiking version.
Oh, nice.
So not all of the hikes in beer hiking are dog friendly. So this other series they started is, well, I guess as the name implies, for the dogs. So that's right up my alley too. So I was like, yep, sign me up for 2. I'm a glutton for punishment. The hiking is fun. The writing is very hard work, but it's worth it. And yeah, it's fun.
I have to ask because it's a topic of conversation sometimes, but should dogs be allowed in breweries?
Ooh, good question. I would say not always, or depends on the dog. Obviously, I know there's rules around like food and stuff like that, but some dogs or owners don't respect personal space, and I'm not into that. And so if I ever bring my dog, it's if I know she'll be well behaved and I can keep her close to me out of everyone else's business. Not everyone wants someone else's dog licking them or trying to get in their beer. And
right.
Know your dog and how hopefully they'll respect everyone else, because not everyone likes them.
I am not that person. I always welcome attention from dogs.
You're the kind of person I want to hang out with then.
Yeah.
I feel like the second part of that is, same question, but with kids. And I think your answer works for that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a kids person, so I would say please no kids. But with that in mind, that's why I understand when people say please no dogs, because I get it. Sometimes you don't want a dog barking or a kid screaming, and yeah.
So does Lou drink beer?
She has tried.
Okay.
I don't let her. I've heard beer isn't great for dogs, but I can admit she's tried a slurper too.
Sure. Right. My friend's dog is just scared of beer. Like,
oh goodness.
She sniffs it and kind of runs the other way.
Did she get punished for trying it when she was younger?
I don't think so.
That's how my dog became afraid of water.
Oh no.
We were told to use squirt guns to train him. And
Oh, okay.
he was deathly afraid of water. And like to the point where my dad threw him in Lake Huron because he thought, oh, it's okay. He'll swim naturally.
He wasn't a swimmer.
No, he did not. My dad had to drag him out of the lake.
Oh
Oh,
no.
He
no.
went board stiff and was like, so yeah. And then my dad got in trouble. So
We did. Dad and dog not allowed at the water anymore.
That's right. Gary McRae invites you to Savannah and says they're dog friendly. Stroll 2 miles, visit 3 breweries with to-go cups.
I went to Savannah years ago, fell absolutely in love with it. Beautiful town, really great people. I would definitely go back.
Well, it sounds like now you know that there's a 2-mile 3 brewery
Yes,
stroll.
a winner for sure.
we have quite a few. I do know in Indiana there's a trail that hits a couple breweries.
Oh, nice.
At some point in Indianapolis. I was at one of them that people were stopping at. And we have a trail up in Grand Rapids that goes through the west side of the state there that hits a few breweries along the way.
That's perfect. Nice.
Most of my friends bike that.
Yeah. I've heard biking and breweries is a thing also.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Rumor has it, this publisher is coming out with a biking and brewing series also, I've heard. I'm not doing it, but people are. I'm not a biker.
That my friend and I, we've done quite a few bike trips around Indianapolis, but yes, they do specifically involve breweries. There aren't always trails between them. We tend to forge our own way.
That sounds adventurous.
We do call it an adventure, yes. There was one time we were following the trail and the trail just stopped, but it's just because they hadn't finished paving it, I guess.
Okay.
So it was just dirt. It was a nice paved trail, and then it was just a dirt trail. And yeah, I said something like, "This will be so much easier when they finish this."
Good reason to go back and try it again.
So do you have some favorite hikes outside of the area that you covered in the book that you want to mention?
Hikes that are in the book, but outside.
That are outside of that area, like other places that you've hiked, I guess.
Other places I've hiked. Highly can I outside of the state?
Sure.
Wherever you want to talk about.
I lived in the Phoenix area. The Superstition Mountains are one of my favorite places to go. Such a range of trails you can find out there at the state park, or if you go further into the national forest there. Just beautiful countryside, mountains, cactus, all the good stuff. Also have enjoyed the Montana area when I was up there. Of course, Glacier National Park, epic space. But then you can also find trails just outside of that that are just equally as gorgeous around the lakes, and you get the mountains and the pines up there also are amazing. Let's see what else. By the Banff area, I did a backpacking trip out to Egypt Lake, which is probably one of my top 3 adventures that I've ever done. But also day hiking out to the Emerald Lake up there was fantastic. That was another one. I wound up hiking in the rain and the fog, and I think that just made it more wonderful somehow, though. The colors were so intense. I'll always advocate for don't let rain stop or slow down your hike. Absolutely worth going. I mean, maybe not if it's pouring, but you know what I mean.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Banff is an area I've been to many times, and I've done lots of different hikes, and I quite enjoy it. But I have not done any of the ones that you mentioned.
There's so many options up there. Like you'd have to go back so many times to hit them all for sure.
We tend to do Johnson Canyon because it's just gorgeous, and then Lake Louise because there's a nice coffee shop and a tea house up there.
Yes.
Lake Moraine because it's on the back of the $20 bill, or it used to be.
Nice.
And it's not far from Lake Louise.
Yeah, that's a good
But
one.
we did once when my kids were small. We hiked up Tunnel Mountain, which is almost in the town side of Banff. It sounds more impressive than it is. Like it is technically a mountain, yes, because we're in the mountains. But it's just a nice, easy hike that basically spirals around and up to the top of the thing. But it has all these vistas of the Bow River and the town and the Banff Springs Hotel, and just it's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. Anything overlooking that river you can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
I have not been to that area. That's why I've been quiet. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like to listen. I looked it up so I could, add it to my list.
Yep.
Yeah, the Tunnel Mountain hike is actually probably rated easy. It is straight uphill. Like the whole thing is uphill and then it's all downhill, but it really just spirals around. So there's nothing difficult on it.
I was saying straight uphill doesn't sound easy.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
I don't mean straight up, but it's an uphill all the way.
Sure.
Yeah, I did a hike in Alaska when I went on a cruise, and in Skagway I did this hike, and they said it was supposed to be like an easy 1 mile hike. That's what the cruise ship did it as. And at like 7:00 in the morning, I get up and I leave the ship, and I go out there, and it's cold at that time, so you had to wear layers.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy comes to me and he says, I have to tell this to everybody. The cruise ship does not build us properly. He's like, it is more than a mile. And the first mile of the hike takes you up with the equivalent of 54 flights of stairs. And I'm like, 54 flights of stairs. And I'm like looking around and I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. I'm going to do it.
Impressive.
Good for you.
I was slow. Even he said he was impressed at the end that we made it to the boat in time because I was very slow. At one point, he came back and was like, I'm going to have you come to the front because, bears. Because I was so far behind everybody else. But I did it. And it was honestly one of the best things I've ever done because it took you up the mountain and then down the mountain into the rainforest.
Oh, wow.
And then we floated back to our starting point, to a different point on the glacier flood river. It was the coolest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And he did drop me off at a brewery.
Nice.
So
there you
when
go.
we got back to town.
That's fantastic. And no moose.
No
All
moose.
of that and no moose.
All of that, no moose. Later that day, I saw a bear when we were on the train, but that was the closest we came.
Sure.
There
That's
was
the
a
way to do
mom
it.
on one side and a baby on the other side waiting for the train to pass to meet his mom.
Oh.
That's cool, though, to see.
So,
wow. That sounds like an awesome experience, though, to climb
it
up.
was.
And you said floating down the river then?
Yeah, they put us in a raft. We had to put boots on because you had to step in the river in order to get in the boat.
Okay.
And then he did all the stuff so that we could take pictures. It was just gorgeous.
Cool.
It was literally one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Definitely. Yeah. That sounds like an awesome experience. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, those glacier rivers are cold.
I bet.
Yes, coldest water I have ever felt in my life.
Great. Even with the boots on.
Yes, even with the boots on.
I've never been to Alaska, but all of that type of stuff is on my list for someday.
If I could figure out how to summer there, I totally would.
Mm.
Because it's beautiful. There's no way to describe it.
Incredible.
One of my friends recently retired. He grew up in Alaska. He lives here in Indianapolis now, and he is getting ready to drive to Alaska this summer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's a trip. Wow.
I'm a little jealous, but not so much of the drive. There's a lot of boring land between here and there.
Yes, I bet some flat bits.
Yeah.
My parents are already planning their summer in Alaska, and they are actually going to buy a second RV, a smaller one, for that particular trip because the roads are so hard on the RVs. They don't want to have to, because this is their primary house.
Sure.
They don't want to have to buy a new house after they go on the trip. So, because they've had other friends that have had to do that.
Oh my
So
gosh.
they're going to buy a smaller used RV to do it, but
Smart.
I'm so excited for them.
That's cool. Wow.
And they like to do all the hikes, and they go to all the they're trying to go to as many national parks as they can.
Oh, nice. And there's like a handful up in Alaska, isn't there? Like there's several, and some of them are way out there.
Some of them you can only get to by plane.
That's crazy, but cool.
It's crazy. You know, there's cities in Alaska that you can only get to by plane or boat.
Yeah, man. I feel where I live here, it feels the middle of nowhere sometimes. And that is a great reminder that I am definitely not in the middle of nowhere.
That's right. It might be nowhere, but we can drive somewhere else.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Kristen, we are coming up on the 1 hour mark, and it has been absolutely wonderful to talk to you. But we are going to start wrapping up the show, and we do that by asking questions that may not be related to beer, or in this case, may not be related to hiking.
Sure.
And I'm going to ask, what is your most recent board game that you played, or card game?
Ooh, it's been a minute. That's a good question, though. Oh gosh, I really have to think about this.
You can think about. I'll let Wendy know that I did play Sky Joe on her recommendation. I got Sky Joe.
Did you?
I played it with so many people, and it is spreading like wildfire.
They love it. Everybody that plays it loves it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What is this? Board game? Card game?
It's a card game.
Card game.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's a card game. You get 12 cards face down in front of you. And as you draw a card, you have to place it face up. And you're trying to have the lowest number of points in front of you at the end of the game when everything is face up.
Okay.
The person who loses is the first person that gets to 100.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. That sounds similar to the game that I was just thinking of that I played last. I think we call it golf. And it's like a set of 4. But you don't know what your cards are. You only get to like look at them if you like want to swap it out for a different card. You draw a card and then you can swap it out, and you don't find out if it was higher or lower until you change it. And then when you think you have the lowest, you're the winner. Or that's when you all flip them over and find out if you're the winner, kind of a thing, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That does sound similar.
Same idea. Yeah. Trying to be the lowest.
Yeah. Wendy, what is your final question going to be today?
My final question, I'm going to bring it back to the beer. What is your favorite beer right now?
Right now is actually, because I was just back in Arizona and picked some up to go, it is a Kolsch from Haas Brewing. It's a coffee Kolsch, and it is probably hands down one of my favorite beers ever, always. And delightful coffee taste, and just that crispness of the Kolsch is the perfect combination. So I still have one last 6-pack sitting in my fridge that I am like savoring.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite is the New Glarus Wisconsin Red, and I always bring as much back as I can manage to bring back, and I'm sad when I run out, and I'm about to run out.
Yes, that's a good one.
I laughed. I was when I was in Springfield. I went down after the show. I recorded a show while we were in Springfield, so I went down to the party after that. And while I was sitting there somebody came up and brought me a beer. He's like, my son or daughter was just in Wisconsin, and I thought I'd bring you this because you can only get it in Wisconsin. So he put a spotted cow down in front of me. I was like, I love it when they bring me beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
That's perfect.
I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Can't go wrong there. That's awesome.
Nope.
Kristen, it has been a delight. Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about, or any book signings, things coming up that you want to draw people out to?
Yeah, a couple events currently planned. Doing an author signing over at Rapids Brewing in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. The local bookshop, Wildflower, is having kind of an adult book fair over at the brewery. So I'll be there on this coming Thursday, the 16th. And then in June, on June 5th, I'll be over at Black Husky Brewing in combination with a local bookshop doing an author signing and author talk over there. So a couple opportunities already on the books if people want to come out and talk about beer and hiking.
Fun. I saw an adult book fair at a brewery near me recently and not seen them before. I still didn't participate because I was biking and wasn't expecting to bring a bunch of books back with me, but
yeah.
Sounds kind of cool.
I missed, book fairs were always my favorite in like elementary school. So what a cool opportunity.
We have
Go ahead,
Detroit has a book at Easter Market. There's a book fair that they do every year.
Nice.
And they have a bunch of booksellers come in and sell stuff, but then they also have like an area where all these authors from Michigan can be there to promote their books.
Oh, cool.
And I probably bring home 3 or 4 books from that area just because I'm wanting to support my local authors. And
yes.
That's
awesome. That's really great.
We when we moved here, the Scholastic Warehouse was very close to the house. And my kids were 5 and 3 when we moved here, so they were into some prime Scholastic Warehouse or Scholastic Book Fair ages. But it kind of ruins the book fair when there's just these shelves full of books, and it's the same experience that they would get in their schools, but we got to wander the warehouse. And
sure, the big one.
They had these deals like fill this box and pay a flat fee for whatever you get into it. And
what?
It was just nuts.
That's so cool, man. That'd be like a dream.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
That's awesome.
Wendy, do you have anything coming up?
In 14 days, I will be on a boat. So I will be going to visit Cerveceria Punta Sur. And I will get to chat with our friend Adrian over there. So hopefully I'll get some video for that. And of course, I'll be going to visit the La Cerveceria Internacional. I never say it right, but the international beer bar there. So we will have some fun information from that. I'm trying to get him to be on the show too.
I looked up Adrian and we had her on show episode 367. If anyone wants to hear about opening a brewery in Cozumel, Mexico, the first one, and the insanity that she had to go through in order to get that done.
Yes.
And continue to run the place.
Yep.
As far as shows, I guess me coming up, I do have a big trip planned in June that I'm excited about. I just got back from Denver. I had such a wonderful time in Denver. I had 3 breweries planned to visit on my Friday there because that was my day off work. And I only made it to 2 because I was having so much fun at the second brewery. I just never left until I was just too tired.
That happens.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But upcoming, we have March Draftness coming. I realize March has passed, but we are doing it in May this year. So Ken is working hard to get those brackets put together and do the March Draftness in May, March Draftness, if you will. On May 8th, we have Nick Lesagore of Exit 12 Homebrew. He's going to talk to us about the Brew Tubers, an online homebrew group. So I am looking forward to that.
Very excited about that.
Yeah. May 22nd, I will be talking to Chris Lane. We will be talking to Chris Lane from Renegade. I visited them. That was that second brewery that I visited in Denver and had so much fun. I stayed way longer than I expected to, but that was from that. And then June might be a little weird for all of us, but we'll figure it out.
We both have trips scheduled in June, so we're probably going to be pre-recording shows instead of doing them live, so that we can still put the content out there, but not have to worry about internet in weird areas.
Great. And timing. I will be in Australia, so the timing and all that will be a little weird too.
That is.
Anyway, that will do it for us today. So we will close our show like we close every show and say, whatever you think of your beer, we think it's better on draft.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.